Dapat naman talaga Comelec or at least ang national government ang pumipili at nagpapatayo ng kanilang opisina at hindi si mayor o si governor. Kaya minsan pagdating ng eleksyon, nauna pa si mayor na nagbibigay ng opisina na nakakalam ng resulta ng eleksyon. Kaya mas madali din manipulahin ang resulta ng eleksyon dahil umutang na loob ni election supervisor ang magandang opisina na ibinigay ni mayor.
Barangay and SK elections. Let's start with that, if that's okay with our Senator Tulfo. Unless you have some preliminary statements, there's an agenda. We're going to go over the preparations for the SK and barangay elections muna. Pagkatapos noon, yung ibang bill spending for alternative modes of voting for vulnerable sectors, mga buntis, PWD, at saka seniors and IP. And yung huli, yung Comelec field offices na lahat naman sang-ayon kaya lang walang pera. So, yun ang agenda for the day. Alright, so who is going to present on the part of Comelec?
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I have
yes.
an opening statement.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Madam Chair, Sen.imee Marcos, to my other colleagues present here today, if there are any present. First of all, allow me to commend all the efforts of this committee under the able leadership of our chairwoman, Sen.imee Marcos, for resolving all previous issues and overcoming erstwhile hurdles surrounding the series of postponements of the barangay and SK elections. Finally, we can look forward to conducting the barangay and SK elections on October 30, 2023. It is my earnest hope that the Commission on Elections, the primary guardian of our ballots, will be able to carry out its constitutional mandate smoothly and efficiently. I'm positive that our officials will ensure the conduct of an honest and peaceful elections, just like what we have witnessed during the presidential and local elections last year. I'm also for the digitalization of our polls this October. If not full, at least majority of our barangays will be automated to ensure accuracy and credibility of outcomes. With regard to the proposed bills on providing accessibility for the vulnerable sectors of our society, I'm also manifesting my full support. It is crucial that we give every Filipino citizen the chance to exercise his or her right to suffrage, regardless of physical condition. In the future, in the true spirit of democracy, it is incumbent upon us to protect and preserve the right to vote. I just want to emphasize, though, that in giving our seniors, PWDs, pregnant women, and IPs full accessibility, adequate safeguards will still be in place by not allowing human intervention as an added tool to cheat or rig the results. Minsan po kasi, ginagamit ng mga pandaraya na palusot yung mga PWDs o seniors para manipulahin ang kanilang balota. Kunwari, tutulungan nila yung senior. Pero sa totoo lang, gusto nilang ibahin ang ilalagay o isusulat sa balota. We need to provide accessibility and simultaneously safeguard the sanctity of their ballots. Finally, I fully support the bills amending the Omnibus Code such that the power to select office spaces for provincial and local elections officers be stripped from local government units. Dapat naman talaga Comelec or at least ang national government ang pumipili at nagpapatayo ng kanilang opisina at hindi si mayor o si governor. Kaya minsan pagdating ng eleksyon, nauna pa si mayor na nagbibigay ng opisina na nakakalam ng resulta ng eleksyon. Kaya mas madali din manipulahin ang resulta ng eleksyon dahil uutang na loob ni election supervisor ang magandang opisina na ibinigay ni mayor. We should put a halt to this practice and amend the law. We must uphold and preserve at all times the independence of our Comelec and its officers. They must remain free from duress or any form of undue influence in order to conduct free, fair, and honest elections. That's all, Madam Chair. Again, good morning and thank you po.
Yes, thank you very much for the spirited support given by our colleague this Monday morning. We're all raring to go. Thank you very much. At eto nga, hihingi kami ng update dito sa Comelec. Maraming iba't ibang balita tungkol sa ating barangay elections. Unang-una, nagtataka kami kung bakit automated bigla ang pinilot test dito sa barangay at SK elections. Ang pagkaintindi natin, manual to. Kaya biglang bakit automated? Ang pagkaalam ko, magko-cost-benefit analysis kung kakayanin para sa mga malalaking barangay tulad sa Quezon City at iba pa kung saan halos kalahating milyon. Tama ba? Kung minsan ang botante. Okay, tapos alam ko rin na may binaril tama ba, na ambush isang municipal election officer sa Maguindanao bago mag-Valentine's the day before. So we are hopeful that there's a quick report on this. I hope it has nothing to do with the upcoming barangay and SK elections. And finally, I think an election is about to be conducted this week. Is that correct? February 25 in Cavite for our now Secretary of Justice, Boying Remulla. So if you could apprise us of all these developments very briefly so that questions can be propounded as well thereafter. Thank you. We invite Chairman George Garcia.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Senator Raffy Tulfo, gandang umaga po. As far as the Comelec is concerned, we are almost 100% prepared for the barangay and SK election of October 30, 2023. As of today, we were able to print 86.59%. I repeat, 86.59% of the ballots for the regular voters. And as far as the Sangguniang Kabataan, we were able to print, as of today, 90.62% of all the ballots for the SK. And so we are hoping to be able to print everything, all the ballots, before the end of February.
I recall that last year you told us that some training had been conducted for teachers and other election officers who would supervise the conduct of both elections. Are they still in place, or will continuous training be undertaken?
With all due respect, Madam Chair, as far as the training of the teachers are concerned, we had not yet proceeded with the training because of the possibility at that time that there will be postponement of the election. And so,
Akala ko doon nagastos yung ilang gastos nung na-postpone. Hindi natuloy yun?
Madam Chair, no. Doon po nagastos sa printing of the ballots, including personnel services of the Commission.
Pero magagamit naman yung mga balotang yun, hindi naman sasayangin.
Yes, Your Honor. Madam Chair, last week, the Comelec and Bank passed a resolution authorizing the use of the 13 million ballots for the regular voters and 8 million ballots for the SK, Madam Chair.
Yes, thank you. Sapat ba ito yung 5.7 na new appropriations ng 2023? Sinecheck ko lang yung budget ninyo kasi doon tayo na para nung nakaraang taon dito sa tungkol sa budget ng pagpo-postpone. So, Chairman, is there any update on that development?
Madam Chair, as far as the Comelec is concerned, barangay and SK election, the national government gave us 8.449 billion pesos for the conduct of the barangay and SK election, supposedly by December 5, 2022. However, because of the postponement, the budget as approved by the Senate and the House of Representatives and assigned by the President, the 5.7 does not contain, Madam Chair, the additional budget for the barangay and SK because accordingly, in the law, it says it will be the subject of a continuing appropriation and supplemental appropriation.
So how do you seek to finance this barangay and SK elections coming shortly? The only new appropriations, as you mentioned, are is the 5.7 billion already stated as new appropriations for Comelec. Wala nang iba pa. Although, as we're well aware, you have continuing appropriations from the previous year as well as savings and other monies.
That's right, Madam Chair. As far as the Comelec is concerned, of the 5.7, 1.250 was allotted for the construction of our Comelec building. And dun po sa kakulangan, kung ano man po, because during the previous hearing, we said that perhaps we will be spending more or less additional 2.8 billion pesos. So gagawa na lang po namin ng paraan, Madam Chair, mula sa Comelec savings, additional, the budget remaining with the Commission elections. We're going to still wait, Madam Chair, for the report of our field personnel for the pilot for the project of precincts. Doon po namin malalaman, Madam Chair, if we're going to add precincts and or ilan yung mga voters per precinct.
Ito nga ang inaalala ko, katulad ni Senator Tulfo, na kapag nagkulang ng budget, ang Comelec, ang tinatakbuhan yung LGU. Kaya nagkakaroon ng collusion, conspiracy, nakakaproning na eh. Dahil dito, nais natin malaman, at if I may request from Chairman George, exactly where and how much will be derived from your other sources, such that we can be assured that this will be a fair and free election, not financed by random political forces.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Your Honor. Definitely the Comelec, we will commit, the Comelec will not be asking for any help from any LGU because that's prohibited. Well, we can only ask from the LGU support for the conduct of plebiscites, but not the conduct of regular election, even special election. So the remaining,
Pero kasasabi mo lang kulang yung budget na ibigay sa inyo, pati yung new appropriations ninyo, hindi sapat. So, saan manggagaling? Although nga, meron naman kayong savings at saka continuing naman yan. At meron rin kayong iba't ibang koleksyon, di ba? So, may pagkukunan, ganun ba?
Yes, Madam Chair, and likewise, we reserve the right to respectfully ask our Congress for an additional budget as the need arises, simply because, Madam Chair, at this point, we can just estimate, but we cannot particularly pinpoint how much we're going to need, simply because although there were additional 1.6 million registered voters from December 12 to January 31, hindi pa po sinasubmit ng mga tao namin from the field kasi po meron pang election registration board hearing by March. So, and doon pa po namin malalaman kung yung buong 1.6 approve po ba yun o meron pong, o eksakto po bang approve yung 1.6 o may mababawasan, and then ilan po yung madadagdag sa bawat presinto o magkikreate po ba ng additional precincts.
So that being the case, may I reiterate the request that the budget and the funding sources be submitted to this committee so that in the little time left, we are able to access the funds in time, as well as be clarified that no undue influence will be exercised by the local and other politicians involved.
Madam Chair will comply, will submit the said documents, Ms. Madam Chair.
Pinagtatakahan nga namin, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, yung bakit mag-automated election system na kasanayan na natin na manual kapag barangay at SK? Bakit biglang may automated pilots tayo?
That's right, Madam Chair. There was a House resolution calling for the Commission on Election to conduct the automated election for the barangay and SK.
So it came from the House?
There was, yes, Madam Chair.
Yes, may I know who the author was so that we can trace it?
Yeah, Madam Chair, it was Congressman P.D. Barsago.
Yes, that's right. He's my counterpart in the Oversight Committee, in the Joint Oversight. I think he found it unwieldy and time-consuming to do it manually, given that these barangays are enormous. Is that correct?
Based on the resolution, yes, Madam Chair. But we disagreed. We said we cannot conduct the automated election in the entire country for the BSKE at this point. We have no budget. We have no resources. We cannot procure the necessary documents and materials for purposes of the barangay and SK, and only we have 98,000 machines presently. We will have to lease the additional machines in the event that there will be an automated barangay and SK elections.